Whether it's LeBron, Chris Bosh, whether it's Shaq, people choose Miami generally over time. Pat Riley's also been one of the great architects in American professional sports history. But Boston, I believe, now has their Dwayne Wade. We do this in the NFL all the time. When we talk about quarterbacks, we consider everything. I mean, we even look at Wonderlic scores. Are they big enough? Do they have a good arm? Are they leaders? In my case, do they wear their hat on forward, not backward? We consider everything. But if you took everything into consideration in the NBA today, age, do you have a lot of years left? What position do you play? Lack of an ego. Do you play on the defensive end? It's a shooter's league. Can you shoot? Do you have any baggage? If you considered everything with every NBA player, I'm not saying best player, I'm saying who do you build your franchise around? And for the record, that is the greatest compliment. When you're a free agent, you could be a radio host, you could be an NBA player, you could be an attorney or a nurse. You're on the market. Who do you build around for the next 10 years? That's ultimately who you love. I take three people. Number 1, Giannis. Number 2, Luka. And number 3, Jayson Tatum. Luka can't defend nearly as good as him, and that matters. Giannis can't shoot like him. Jokic plays a less important position today and can't defend wings. Embiid is hurt too often. I love Trae Young, but he's small. I love Ja Morant, but I worry about his durability. What does Jayson Tatum find me the hole? He's a great free throw shooter. Late in games, he is the guy on the floor in this league you want at the line. He can shoot threes. We saw with Kevin Durant, he can defend the wing. He can handle the ball. We saw that Devin Booker struggled to create his own shot. Jayson Tatum doesn't. And he gets better every year, slightly. Go look at his points, assists, rebounds, efficiency. They tick up every year. It's funny, there's always these lists, who's this, who's that. And I thought this morning, the greatest compliment you can pay any employee is, you're on the market. Let the bidding commence. Giannis, Luka, Tatum. Doesn't have baggage, no ego, plays both ends, plays the right position, can handle it, could bring it up, score on the wing, defend the wing. I don't know if he's the third best player in the league. I don't know. But Devin Booker, there's a guy that struggles to create his own shot. Ja Morant, will he stay healthy? Trae Young, who's he going to defend? Jokic, that position doesn't matter as much. Embiid, he's hurt too much. Giannis, Luka, Jayson Tatum. And 24 years old, I believe this is the first year, in my opinion, this is the first year of his prime. Like this year you watch them and you're like, yeah, okay. Now some guys enter the NBA, Tim Duncan, years ago, and you felt like the prime was like year 2. So it takes a while with the one-and-done guys. But I think this is the first of about 7 to 8 top 3 guys you'd build around in the NBA. I like Boston in the series. I think they'll get more good looks offensively. I think Miami will struggle to consistently get really good quality shots. I get the better defense, the better star, the better closer. I'll take Boston in 6. So, I like Chris Paul a lot. He did not have a great series, especially after Game 2, and I can acknowledge that. But Patrick Beverley, who is a feisty, annoying guy, not nearly the player Chris Paul has been in his career, but he was on another network, a former employer of mine, and just taking shots at Chris Paul. Well, it should be noted, a lot of great stars, especially when they're 37, are not considered defensive stoppers. I think you'd be surprised how many all-time greats did not win a championship. In the NFL, we always say Dan Marino, but Warren Moon, Dan Fouts, Jim Kelly, never won Super Bowls. In baseball, either did Ted Williams, never won a World Series. Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey, Mike Trout, Tony Gwynn. In the NBA, Charles Barkley, John Stockton, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, Allen Iverson. And there's 2 things that you have to consider when you criticize Chris Paul and guys that haven't won a championship. In all sports, baseball, football, basketball. Number 1, who was in your way? I love Phil Mickelson, but Tiger in his prime, you weren't going to beat him. Who was in your way? And who was your greatest teammate? So let's talk about Chris Paul's greatest teammates. One of them jumped over a car. His name was Blake Griffin. He won a slam dunk contest. It was the height of his career. He couldn't shoot as the league progressively became more of a shooter's league. He was never comfortable outside, kind of stiff, hyper-athletic, and disappeared when Chris Paul left his side. His other great player was James Harden. Yes, he's sometimes in shape, sometimes engaged, often not, and a playoff failure. His best run was, of course, when Chris was in the backcourt with him. And the third player is Devin Booker. I like him a lot, but I think we all can admit now he's maybe the best number 2 in the league, but struggles to create his own shot. And Devin Booker was in Phoenix long before Chris Paul. How were the Suns then? Terrible. Those are his 3 great teammates. Also in that time, it should be noted, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and Clay played together in Golden State. Pretty good. And there was this guy named LeBron James over in the East. Pretty good. Who's in your way, and who did you play with? I know this will come as a surprise to people in their 20s, but Michael Jordan never won a playoff series without Scottie Pippen. A series. Not one, ever. And he played for years without him. He could never get past Bird and McHale's Celtics. He could never get past the Pistons when they were young, or the Lakers when they were young. But the Lakers, Boston, and Detroit got old about the same time Scottie Pippen arrived. And it's amazing Michael became the greatest winner of all time. Never won a playoff series without Pippen. I always ask the same 2 questions. Who's in your way? Bird, McHale, Magic, Kareem, Worthy, Bad Boys, Chuck Daly. Who's in your way? And who is your best teammate? Marino. Dan Marino. Never had a great running back. In his era, it was a running back league. Never had a great running back. Dan Marino, his best defense was his rookie year. Look it up. And he got to a Super Bowl. He never got back and mostly had crap defenses his entire career. He had one other really high-end defense. Dan's best defense was his rookie year. And he, as a rookie, got to the Super Bowl. And from that point forward, he had to carry a franchise with weak defenses and no real true number 1 running back. Who's in your way? Oh, by the way, who was in his way? I don't know, Elway and Joe Montana and eventually some pretty good quarterbacks. So I will defend him righteously. Chris Paul is great. He's never had a great number 2. He's had some of the greatest players in league history in his way. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.